In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my live trading session. We're looking at S&P 500 mini futures. The time frame is 2000 tick chart, and I'm going to be relying on pure price action, the candles as they are printing on the chart. I'm using only one indicator. It's a supportive indicator, the 21 bar exponential moving average, the blue line. And right now, the structure of the market clearly is bullish channel. We actually have very nice two-legged pullback, second entry long, but the market is going to open in 1 minute. So unfortunately, I cannot really take it. And you can see perfect second entry long, also triple test is working right in front of our eyes. It worked for a scalp, but you can see the market is opening now, and I couldn't really take a trade due to the market open because there's an increase in volatility and you can get chopped up. All right, traders, I'm resuming the video as I took the high-low confirmation setup of the second entry long two-legged pullback because it is right now off the trend line and off the EMA. So we have two key entry points, and you can see prices broke higher, came back, tested the key entry points, and it is confirmation of the second entry long two-legged pullback triple test, the form right here. I'm entering this as a double bar entry, which means I waited for this bullish bar to get a trigger higher, and then I drop my limit order a couple ticks back to decrease the risk because when bounce on my exit order, we need to tick through because the single bar is bearish and I cannot, and we tick through. The single bar is bearish and I cannot enter above bearish bar. So I needed to wait for the follow-up bar to confirm the bullish momentum, and because it formed of two key entry points, the more key entry points in price action you have, the better. I decided to trust this setup, 1 or 2 ticks back entry, and you saw me scalping 6 contracts and even 1 contract as a runner. All right, traders, so runner just got hit, but right now I'm playing this channel, so we're breaking the channel. So I'm going to be respecting the correction, and if this correction plays out, I'm going to be looking for new extreme of the uptrend. Because this first entry long was so strong, I'm deciding to make the channel wider just a little bit, because first entry long shouldn't be so strong unless there's an important key entry point. It fits still pretty well off of these lows, so I'm deciding to make the channel slightly wider to still keep it in play. So the structure for me is still bullish. I'm going to be observing the EMA, how it's going to react, and how strong the bearish correction is going to be. The price action formed new extreme as we expected, but there was no way for me to take it because the short-term downtrend was in play, and I cannot go long as this downtrend is in play. I wanted to see push above EMA and a high low, confirming the fact that we're going to reach the new high, but there was no high low. Market just created one solid push into new extreme. So right now I am pausing, looking to go long. It is still quite bullish, but I have to be careful a little bit more unless a bigger pattern develops. We traded strongly into this consolidation, so I'm not really looking to sell, but at the same time, I can't really buy directly into the highs of this consolidation. So this is pretty much no trade zone for me right now. I don't see a clear bias. Uptrend played a bit to break new high, EMA flatten, trend range structure. So right now I'm just being patient until something clear develops. So we just witnessed shift in a market cycle. Uptrend played out with the break new extreme, fulfilled the trendline rule, entered the trend range. We had a failed breakout. Then we had a failed second entry long, but the failed second entry long formed above EMA and it still looked quite bullish, so quite confusing. Looking back, there was a decent lower high below EMA, below the trend range, confirming the failed second entry long, and this lower high is finally the ultimate confirmation that the trend range is back full effect and the sellers are taking over. Because this failed second entry long first pushed above EMA didn't hold, but the lower high formed nicely below EMA and the last piece of confirmation that the range is holding and you're playing the trend range rules. I was supposed to take this trade. It was a little bit unclear to me overall, but right now we have a downtrend working lower and I'm going to be looking for second entry short at the key entry point. Alright, the spike in the channel had a break new extreme. Right now we have a push below EMA and I'm expecting a failed second entry long because the overall pattern is a trend range. We have just up down price swings, no bigger channels. So once we have a break new high and we have a failed second entry long below EMA, there would be a bullish trap. Right now there's just a first entry long and I'm waiting for second entry long to trigger, and hopefully it will form the failure inside of this channel and below the EMA. Resuming the video as we have downtrend working lower, we have a first entry short, and now it's going to be pivotal if there's going to be a resistance holding and we're going to get a second entry short. At that point, I would be expecting new extreme for the downtrend, But right now we have option working higher, close outside, so it is tempting to create a new high. Either way, I'm going to be observing if we can get the second entry short. Alright, so I'm quickly resuming the video as the setup we expected formed. But once the second entry short formed, it formed big bullish bar and it looked like it will not even trigger. And at the very last second, it completely reversed all the way down. And I didn't even manage to get my order in place because in 2 seconds, it already created the scalp. And this was really tricky. This bearish bar formed and it never triggered. It continued working higher all the way up to here. And before it was closing in the last couple of seconds, it completely reversed down and it caught me off guard. But this is a shame because this is a textbook second entry short. And alongside with somewhat of a triple test, multiple test, resistance forming higher, close outside, and you need to get new extreme as we just formed. So this was a good setup. Unfortunately, I just didn't get filled because it was just super fast. Downtrend had a break, new extreme. Push above EMA is confirming the bullish momentum, and right now a brand new uptrend is being established. So I'm eyeing a second entry long to like a pullback to the exponential moving average with a solid bullish signal bar because we're gonna break the channel. So that means we need to expect the new extreme. Resuming the video as we have the two-legged pullback as we expected, but the signal bar managed to close so big. My stop loss has to go below this bearish bar. We are almost very close to reaching the highs. I decided to skip it only because the bar ended up forming so large. So unfortunately, I cannot really buy all the way this high. I needed this bar to close a little bit lower so I have room to get out before reaching the new extreme, and the stop is much smaller. Alright, traders, resuming the video as we have a short setup. I was actually looking to sell below this second entry short, but it never triggered, it stalled. And now we have sort of like a continuation. EMA keeps projecting, but you can see at this point it is way too congested. So the setup should have triggered below this bar. It never did. It followed up with a bullish bar, and now it's just way too stacked, way too congested, and I cannot take setup in this congestion. I will need to take a setup out of the congestion. Alright, traders, I'm resuming the video as I'm going to take the failed second entry long breakout pullback. We have a new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long, failure. We have failed second entry long, we have a breakout pullback out of the congestion. I'm chasing it as a stop order entry because the momentum was there. I'm just hoping we can pull back and fill my trade. And the scalp was already made, so I have to cancel the order. Alright, traders, I'm gonna wrap it up with my one single trade. This is the bigger picture for today. We ended up evolving into a wider downtrend. This was a great failed second entry long. I ended up marking a couple of setups. We had this more aggressive second entry long because the signal bar just ended so high up and was quite big. Had it been much smaller, definitely a great setup. Then we had a great second entry short triple test. There was a failed second entry long here, but the signal bar was bullish so far from EMA, I cannot take it. And I decided to even include this second entry long triple test because EMA keeps holding. It is a two-legged pullback and the uptrend may start. There were two great setups at the very beginning of the session. Great second entry long triple test combined with the high low. And this was a great lower high confirmation of the failed second entry long and overall range structure. I hope you had a good trading day. I'm going to talk to you next time. Good luck with your trading.